So, and just like that, I'm back to give you maybe a few insights of how I get ready. It's not much. I'm wearing my Wonder Woman t-shirt because let's get ready. Let me sit down. I have my green screen in the back. You won't be able to see it because I change it out to be a brick wall for several reasons. Mostly because I've hit a brick wall with this show and just like that. I'm wearing my Wonder Woman t-shirt because I am actually wondering where the hell this show is going. So, I'm in a New York state of mind. Yes, I will get more into that rendition of why I'm singing this. Because this show, and just like that, I think this is episode 9, past tense. How can I put it? I'm going to give you as much time in this video as it gave us, which was almost nothing. Of course I'm not. Are you kidding me? I'm going to give you all that I have to give you in details that if God help me, I can remember, because you know what? As bad and as short as this damn version of this episode was, you're not going to get shorted by me. Not at all. So that was my intro, just to give you a little bit of an idea how I actually come in. I do have a green screen. I do have a chair. You saw my t-shirt. Let me brush my hair a little bit, only because at some point today in this whole damn thing, it's going to get in on my nerves. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm comfy now. Get comfortable. Let's get into it. I like to call this episode vignettes. There were vignettes of different characters. So unfortunately, I really can't group it in the larger sense where we have the honorable mentions and then the 3 ding-dongs, being 3 Miranda, ding-dong number 3, ding-dong number 2 Charlotte, which they can intertwine or interchange at any given moment. But we all know ding-dong number 1 is our favorite, Carrie. So yes, this will be in 2 parts again. And I'm going to focus on all of the vignettes that happened in this episode in this first sitting. And we're going to save the best for last, which is our favorite one, Carrie and her shit. Okay, let's get into it. Vignette number 1. I would like to call him one of my favorite characters. We have Anthony and his to-be mother-in-law, Maleficent. That's the best way I can coin the frame, because that's exactly how he mentioned that his mother-to-be-law is Maleficent. So we remembered last week where his bread boy boyfriend had asked for him to get to know his mother and to cook for her. And I had hoped that they would actually touch upon this in a much grander scale than they actually did for this episode, but it was decent enough for me to, thankfully, he didn't cower down to her, which is what I hoped didn't happen. So we see them in his kitchen. He apparently cooked for her and he's trying to have small conversation with her. And she's just hooing and ahhing and, with her attitude. He made her a risotto. By the way, I have never tried risotto. If anyone has a good recipe, drop it in the comments below or a link to a good recipe. I'd be curious to not only make it, but to try it. I know I'm a New Yorker and I have never tried a risotto. This, it is what it is. As he is trying to impress her by his cooking prowess, she is very mute. And he says to her, I hope you like the risotto. And I marinated the mushrooms overnight. That's when she decided to, insult him even more, because, telling someone that you marinated something or you seasoned something overnight, automatically, because you're, an evil person, you go ahead and you take whatever seasonings and add to it, which is an insult, just so you know. So she takes the two salt and pepper shakers. God bless Anthony. I can't. I love him. And she realizes that the salt and pepper are salty and peppery because they both have men in front of them. In I actually thought it was quite restraining, the version that we saw on the salt and pepper shakers. And he was like, hey, those are just for fun. And that's when she pretty much went into her schmeal, her speech. She tries to tell him that she understands that she has not been very kind to him. And he is like, well, I didn't notice, sarcastically as he is. And she goes into her background of why she is concerned about her son dating him, which is his father was 30 years her senior when she met him. And it was a wonderful relationship. He blew her mind or whatever the hell it is that she said. And that Anthony interjected by saying, well, that sounds amazing. And then she says, yes, it was until she had to become a nursemaid to him. Doesn't say how much time they were in their relationship before they became a nursemaid, but I get a sense that the man was well off because she seems to be well off and financially. Now, I don't know because we don't really get the full scope of who this guy was in relation to her or how much she's acquired financially. But at the end of the story, she's telling Anthony that she doesn't want the same thing for her son to be with an older person to end up being a nursemaid. And of course, our Anthony tries to negotiate his age, which is hysterical. He goes through 58, 60, and then he says 62, that's my final offer. If only we all had the opportunity to do that, I think we would all do it. I think it's great. I think it's hilarious. It's Anthony. At least he's putting himself in the 60s. I think he's acknowledging the fact that he's in his 60s in the show, unlike the rest of them. Mm-hmm. You want me to go there? No, I don't want to. So listen, check it out. She is doubtingly looking at him saying, yeah, okay. So all of a sudden, she cracks into an, I want to say, New York accent. And I say this because I'm a New Yorker and I know how to have different dialects for different New York styles. Okay? You're going to hear it sometimes, but the way I speak now is how I normally speak. So when I heard her break into this accent, I was asking everyone else, even some New Yorkers that are out there too, that actually saw this and kind of said the same thing. Was that a New York accent? Like a real New York City accent? Because I don't hear it anymore unless I purposely do my accent like I try to do. I go out to other places and automatically people can tell where I'm from. They know I'm from the North. Some people can tell I'm from New York. They question what is my heritage a lot. I do get that. Like, where are you from? And I tell them New York. No, where's your family from? I say, well, my family's from Puerto Rico, but I was born and raised in New York. But I automatically say I'm from New York because I don't, it's just innate. Sometimes people piss me off. I just say I'm from Earth. Okay. So when she went into the dialect, it jarred me a little bit, but she actually was very upset with Anthony, and she pretty much offered him, what would it take to get out of my son's life? How much? A bribe, so to speak. So Anthony retorted, and he didn't cower, which again, applaud. Thank you. At least, he didn't cower to her. Great. And he went into his, I know the type of person that you are. I've been there, done that. You're like, some family member with a beard. It was just a very quick scene. And her innate reaction to his reaction was to throw the food off the table. And that was kind of jarring too. I didn't expect that from her. And obviously, after getting out of her New York accent or her accent dialogue change, She went back into her more Italian Rome accent again. I guess she can turn it on and off like a faucet, like I can, like a faucet. So if anybody gets a kick out of me doing that, let me know, because I get a lot of people who say that I can turn it off like that, and it's kind of funny. I don't want to be offensive to anyone, but if it's funny, let me know. So as she throws the food off the table, he yells at her. He says, "Hey, someone needs a therapist. Know anyone?" And I was glad, because that's the kind of Anthony that I expect. He didn't like bend down and say, "Oh my God," no. He was like, "Listen, you crazy battle-ack. All right, check it out. I don't like this." So she flips into, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't know what's going on." And she goes to bend down to help pick up the mess. And a knife. And she's pointing it at Anthony. And Bread Boy comes in. And true to form to Anthony, he knows that she wasn't trying to kill him. But he tells Bread Boy, the boyfriend, "You see, I told you she was trying to kill me." Of course, when you're walking into a scene like that, you really don't know what's going on. So I actually thought it was very calming. And the mother says, "Listen, I was just picking it up." And then she speaks to Bread Boy, her son, in Italian. And from what I read the caption, she's not going to support his lifestyle, this New York City lifestyle anymore. And that when he comes to his senses, he can come back home and then this whole thing could be forgotten. So I saw Bread Boy's face, and I guess my thing was, is she supporting him? It would make sense that he's being financially supported by his mother, because his reaction to that was just, he didn't say a word to her. As she touches his face and she walks out to the hallway, which makes a comment that the hallway smells. Okay. Anthony asks, "What was all that about? What did she say?" And the reaction was from him, "Oh, she said thank you for the dinner." I don't know if anybody else read into this as I did. Did he look scared? Like, holy crap, I am not going to get money from my mom anymore, and now I really got to figure out what the hell I'm doing? Or something else? Did you get that? I don't know. I felt that was the weird part of the whole thing. And poor Anthony, he says, yeah. Let's pretend that's happened. Let's pretend that's what she said. And I'm like, yeah. I think that you're going to have to step up the bread a little bit, boy. I think you're going to have to get more yeast, because I have a feeling that the money cash train cow has left the building. Literally left the building and is on her way back to Rome. So that was the vignette for Anthony. Next up, let's get into the vignette of LTW and Herbert. Stay tuned. Vignette number 2, LTW and Herbert. Okay. I'm going to start off by one important factor. For most people who may be seeing my video for the first time, okay, they bring up a subject here that is a very triggering point to me. Most people who have seen my other video when they were in the trying to get ADHD medication for Wyatt, and that would be Carrie trying to get it for Kathy when she asked. I want to say it was episode 3. Anybody can correct me. There is a scene in there about a shortage of medication at that time. And remember, this was filmed last year, the series, from what I'm understanding. And the way that they went about it and who was entitled to get the medication is very triggering for me, because I'm one of the people, I am a diabetic. I'm not on Ozempic. I am on Mounjaro, okay? I've been on Mounjaro for 2 years now. I was on Ozempic 8-9 years ago, and it didn't really do much for me. And I've gone through variations, and Mounjaro seems to be the one that works the best for me. But even that medication last year and the year before was in very big shortage. And I suffered a lot. And I am a full-on diabetic, and I went through a lot of trauma. So when I go through this about LTW, as much as I want to have fun with this episode or this vignette of their series, the minute I heard that, it just brought me back to what I recorded when I was upset about it, and then this whole thing again, because that's all I have to say. If you were in that problem, because it wasn't just Ozempic, it was ADHD medication. A lot of medications were a shortage. So you can, take a look at my other video. I will post it in the link down below, why it's so triggering, but I gave you enough juice. So let's get into, I don't know, let's get into it. LTW. Okay. The first scene we have is Herbert is opening the fridge, and he is complaining about cheese being in the fridge, that it's a trigger point for him because apparently he's lost 20 pounds. I have not noticed that, to be honest with you. He looks the same to me. And that this whole election, which he's going to be, or he's trying to be city comptroller, is very stressful, and he needs to make sure that he doesn't trigger his eating, and he doesn't want to look fat, and he goes on, and he's yelling about to his son who's sitting there in the kitchen, who left the cheese? Why is this out? LTW comes in because she's getting ready to go out. And he's like, I told you people, if it's there, I'm going to eat it. Okay. He gets on LTW about the angel hair pasta that she left out that she's going to make for the kids. And he's just upset because no one is respecting the fact that he needs to be on this diet train, is what I'm gathering. Again, I didn't know he was on a diet. I barely understand what's happening in his election. And they still, even after this episode, there's no clarity. Just so you know, I have nothing. This show is so freaking annoying. She says, I took it out for the kids. I'm going to make it out for the kids. He goes, no, absolutely not. And she's like, honey, listen. She grabs her carpet, literally carpet bag. I'm going to interject. Her outfit was decent. Considering what I've seen her in, not bad. I could have done away with the necklace. I'm sick of this gaudy things that she's wearing. I think that the dress should speak for itself. If she's going to wear a carpet bag, which I didn't hate it. I have to really see it up close to really understand the full scope of it, but I didn't hate it. She looked pretty decent. And it's funny because this is the shortest time that we see her. You would think that, they would give her more time when she's dressed like a human being. So she grabs her bags and she says, oh, honey, why don't you just get on Ozempic just like everyone else? Okay. The next scene you have, because I'm going to put my footnotes to this. Don't worry. It's coming. Subscribe. She's sitting next to Marion, the married. Okay. Again, pretty decent outfit. So what's interesting is that in the first outfit she was wearing her bad wig, because we all agree that little, cream puff hair thing, whatever the hell she's got on her head, is just atrocious, right? Right? Now in this one, I'm presuming it's the next day because she's in a completely different outfit and a completely different wig. Pretty decent from what I can see. Again, when they dress her normal, we don't get any action from LTW. She's sitting next to Mary in the marriage. She's talking about how to edit this 1,000-year book journey video thing that she's been working on for 1,000 years, literally. And Herbert calls, and she takes the call. Thank God. I guess she's not going to turn off her phones anymore. And the next thing that comes out of his freaking mouth is, I gained a pound. I came from the gym and I gained a pound. And that's because of the angel hair pasta that you left. Ay, 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 señor de mi vida. Really? I gained a freaking pound when I put a flavor in my water. Dude, what are you doing? I'm gonna try to save the footnotes for the end, but this pissed me off. I'm like, what are we doing here? And she's like, Why are you calling me? You know I'm at work and I have 2 words for you. I don't remember what the first word was, but the last one was Ozempic. Again. And that's it. That's the last we see of them. Literally, that was the vignette. Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb. Few recommendations. If this was a real-time story and I would be there and this was really happening, okay? So let's put ourselves in this position. Okay? Okay. Good. I would tell him as a friend, hey, I would, from the first scene, when she walks out and tells him that he should get on Ozempic, I would say, my dear friend, maybe you want to check your prenup. Just telling you as a friend. And if you don't have a prenup, okay, I would tell you, hey, you remember your friend Harry that used to be your campaign manager that's carrying his, had prostate cancer and he's laying in bed with his 2 big balls? How about you go visit him? As a friend, bring him bigger nuts than your wife did, who visit him the last season or last episode. Have a chat. What are your options? He's a divorce lawyer. Bond a little. Just ask general questions. What if I decided I wanted to get a divorce and I don't have a prenup? What if I decide to kidnap her and throw her in a ditch? What are my options there? Because, in this whole scenario, as he's yelling at LTW, he keeps saying that he's in a public figure. He's going to be a public figure. People are watching him. People are, he's got the campaign. The election is stressing him. I have not seen anything of this. I don't see photographers. I don't see anything. All I know is that if this is that stressful to him, and he is going to be a public figure, which is what I told you in the last episode, how does that affect the family again? Are they having conversations? Do they understand the impact that's going on? Because I don't get the sense of importance and urgency that this whole family should be involved in whatever the hell is going on with this campaign. Because there's a campaign, there's an election, he's stressed out, he lost 20 pounds, he gained 1 pound. I would go to Harry and just have generalized questions, because this chick is obviously, LTW, is not understanding this, because she's willing to pretend in her head that she's going to have an affair with Marion the Married. And I would think that as a public figure or becoming a public figure or becoming an electoral, whatever the hell is happening, people would be watching them. They'll be digging into their background. And I'm going to ask this again. When Harry's on the phone yelling at LTW, he's in the same office setting. Oh my God, I think I said Harry. I apologize, Herbert. Where's Herbert? What does he work? What does he do? What's happening? Can someone clue me in? If there's anybody that knows? Because he seems to be important, but he is generalizing his election. Okay. This woman is telling him to get on Ozempic just like everybody else. And they're all going about their merry little business, and then nobody cares about this damn controller except for Harry, who's been stressed. Again, I say Harry. Herbert. So, as you should, Herbert, talk to your friend Harry, who has been laid up in his bed, asking general questions about weighing your options because your wife is in the middle of something that obviously you're not aware of. I'm just saying. I would say that as a friend. Hey, while you're at it, when you finish your generalized questions with Harry, why don't you pop over to your doctor and get some testosterone patches and grow some cojones, okay? Word of the day for translation, people. Cojones, bolas. Pick up your crap and stop bitching. It's pretty much the generalized word. Let's play a game here. Okay. For every word that I say in Spanish, I would love some people to go into the comments and say my translation for that is, and tell me the name of the country that you're from or the origin or wherever you're from. Try to translate that. You don't have to, but if you choose to. If the word is in English, okay, tell me where you're from. If it's like a southern drawl, say it's a southern drawl. If it's from England, tell me you're from the UK because I see some UK. Ireland, I've been reaching out a lot of people. I would love to know what is the translations of the things that I say in Spanish from where the origin of your country. Let's play a game, people, because obviously there's nothing else going on in this damn show. So we might as well just connect on a deeper level. Okay. So grow some cojones, get to your house. And first of all, don't ask questions, get some damn answers. Who the hell are you to tell me to get on Ozempic? Okay. Where's the support and what the hell is going on with you and Mary and the Married? Don't think that because I didn't say anything last episode that I don't notice that there's something wrong with you, woman. Put your foot down. I'm sick of this bullshit of him. Oh my God, I gained a pound. Dude, everybody does. You gain a pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, you have a limit of where you should be. Once you start getting past 5 pounds, you should start getting concerned. But there's water weight. There's stupid weight. He's an idiot. There's something going on in his brain. Like this freaking storyline is ridiculous. And I'm sick of it. And that's it. That was the vignette for LTW Ozempic lacking cojones husband, Herbert. Because he gained a fucking pound. Excuse my language. Okay, thank you. Whew. Vignette number 3 will be, oh my God. I cannot believe, well, no. Let's do Seema. I was going to put Ding Dong number 2, Charlotte, but let's keep her in the Ding Dong family. But it's also a vignette. The only person that actually had a storyline that was there was Carrie. So our next vignette is Seema and the Rock Man. Or the Rock Crystal Man. Oh my God. If you were looking forward to that, can you see my face? Do you see my face? Do I look thrilled? Stay tuned. For the love of God, vignette number 3. Seema and the Rock Crystal Deodorant Garden Arm Digger Adam. If only he can actually have that entire name. Okay. Okay, so we open up with Seema waking up from her bed. Very boring bedroom, to be honest with you. And guess what? It's in brown. Well, there's brown elements everywhere. I'm noticing everything brown now. Adam comes out and he's in a brown towel, in case you didn't realize it. And he says, oh, you slept. And she's like, yes, I did. And he throws himself on the bed. And she starts to kiss him. And she asks what the hell is on his lips. And guys, for those who are watching me for the first time, sometimes I don't look in the camera because remember, for all those, I do not script this. I do it from memory. So I am reliving it in my mind. And the memory erasing pills that I take after the episode do not work. So she gets disgusted because she tastes something on his breath or his lips. And he says that he put on some secret ice something. It took me a couple of times watching it to figure out what he was trying to say. And apparently he put on her deodorant on his lips so she can have a taste of what he tastes because his fetish is armpit digging. Not just garden digging. No. He's an armpit digger too because that makes him special. Very scary, people. I have never in my life, ever. And I've only seen a few comments of people that have had this happen. Wow. So he wants her to get a literal taste of what he tastes when he's arm digging. And he provides her with a rock crystal, new rock crystal deodorant. Now, when I checked this, because I didn't understand this and I figured it was product placement, I don't remember seeing that specific version that he's picking up and showing her. I did a real surface level thing just to see if this was real. And it literally looks like a rock crystal hanging from it's like a soap, hanging soap. I was like, okay, I don't know if that's real. I don't know. She throws it on the bed. She's not going to use it in theory. He says, just in case you want to try it. Sure. He goes back into the arm digging, and I guess they have arm digging sex. The next thing you have with her is after the shower, she has the rock crystal deodorant. She says, let me give it a shot. She gives it 2 swigs. I would have rubbed the entire freaking thing everywhere, because I don't know what I'm using. I'm going to say something before we get into the next scene. I really think and hope and pray that Adam Karma, which is his last name, is somewhat the one of the investors in this rock crystal, and he has a boatload of money. Because I don't know where they're going with this. Why do we have to have a second scene with this freaking rock crystal? He's like a savant in this. I have to believe that he has millions of dollars invested, and that we're going to wake up and realize that this guy is the rock, crystal savant connoisseur investor in some company, and he's sitting on millions of dollars. Because otherwise, then why are we doing this? We're literally having an episode about deodorant. Because wait, there's not more. You know how they used to say there's more? No, there isn't. Because the next scene we have is with her and Carrie at her new office location with 50 chairs and no people. I guess it's a startup. No, one of the questions that Carrie asks is, can you afford this? And she apparently has savings now to rent it. Okay. She didn't have savings before. She didn't use that as collateral to get her loan. For what? How much the saving is? I don't know. She has a new assistant that she poached from her ex, Robbie, the director. I forgot his name. Yeah. See that? What's going on? He has a Birkin bag, which Carrie, of course, notices. And he goes out to get them sushi. She's showing Carrie the space, and I will get into the conversation that they have because it's more Carrie-centric. But during the conversation of their sushi lunch, the assistant comes in and says, I nabbed you an appointment with, I guess, a marketing of somebody, something, some crap, and that it's all the way up on the Upper East Side. And again, I don't know where this office is located, but people seem to believe that everything is close in New York, and it's not. So I'm presuming that she could be at the Lower East Side, Lower West Side. I don't know how she's getting there. All we know is that he tells her that the meeting is at the Pelican. It's a restaurant, Upper East Side, and that it's in 40 minutes, and she freaks out. She grabs her stuff. She runs out. He gets a little nervous as he talks to Carrie. Is that very far? Again, I find it interesting that even if you're not from this country, which is what he says, that he just came here from London, you can't figure out the distance from your office to where this is, like miles wise. I don't know. I would know, like walking, because it tells you Google Maps, walking, car, train, whatever the hell it is. And Carrie's like, well, it's going to be tight. The next scene you have is her running in the street. She's stopping in front of the restaurant, which must have been paid to be in this show, which may explain why the show is only 28 minutes long. We'll get into that later, because that was stupid. Because all I see is that the time of the episodes are getting shorter and shorter. Are they just eventually going to make it 3 minutes and everything is just going to blow up? I feel like we're in a ticking time bomb. And not even, is anybody getting that feeling? If there's something wrong? But I have a theory when it gets to the Carrie Chronicles. Wait. So she gets into the restaurant, she sits down, she meets the marketing guy, And she tells him that she's ordered him some truffle pizza because she does this. I hate the way she speaks and the way she acts. I hate it. It's just something not genuine. I can't explain it. It irks me. And since I don't know this actress in any other forums, I don't know if this is the only one note that she has. The way she does this, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, okay. So the waiter comes in and he's pouring the seltzer drink, and you could tell that the person she's meeting can feel that he smells this waiter, or what I thought was the waiter. Because honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. When the waiter leaves, he tells Seema that the waiter had really bad body odor, and she kind of figures that it might be her, so she smells herself. And I didn't get this scene. I don't know, because I would think that he would have smelled Seema before he smelled the waiter, or she would have smelled herself. Like something was very off. So maybe the waiter did have BO and she just thought that it was her, or she wanted to make sure that it wasn't her, or it was her and he didn't realize that it's her. I couldn't tell you. All I know is that she excuses herself. She goes to the ladies' room, which is one bathroom in this entire restaurant, not like stalls. And we circle back to what happened the last episode when they were laughing at a woman at a restaurant while she was putting on deodorant. She ends up being that person because she can't get into the bathroom. She does have a spare deodorant in her bag. She starts, and the woman comes out and she goes, I am not this person. I know this person. I am not this person. Reflecting on the fact that she kind of laughed at that woman at the table at the restaurant with her and Adam, and she's that person, but she's explaining to a random stranger that she's not that person. And that's it. She goes back up the stairs and we don't see her close the deal or have a conversation. She rock crystallized herself with her deodorant in her purse. We are literally having episodes. I mean, I know it was almost nothing, but we have hit rock bottom nothing. I didn't understand this at all. There has to be leading to something. I swear he has to be. He doesn't have to be anything. To be honest with you, they don't give a shit about us. Us the fans, us the haters, whatever the hell they want to call it. This was stupid. Tell me how you feel. Or felt. Whatever. But you know what you could do? Subscribe. So, vignette. Correct my count. This will be 4. We covered LTW. Oh God, yeah. Okay, so now I don't even think it's vignette number 4 because we have LTW, we have Anthony, we have Seema. Yeah. Now we've got the 3 ding-dongs who, ironically, 2 of the ding-dongs are falling into the vignette category. I hope I'm not missing anyone. Well, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares anymore. So let's get into the 2 ding-dongs who have vignette appearances in this damn show. Stay tuned. We're going to get into Miranda. Because that was fun. Ding dong number 3. Because I'm in a New York state of mind. And in case anybody wants to understand why I'm singing this, yes, I saw the Billy Joel biography. We'll get into that at the end of my video. And now that freaking song is stuck in my head. So, Miranda, let's keep this as short as possible. Miranda is making or preparing dinner or preparing the table for BBC girl who is there. And the BBC girl is asking for her gin that Miranda has decided to, murder in the last episode, which she threw down the trash chute, made sure she heard it crash and land. BBC girl is asking for the bottle. Miranda somehow fakes a story that she doesn't know where it is. Maybe her cleaning lady was the one that took it. And I really thought she was going to run with this. I was like, are you really telling me that you're going to lie to this girl? Like, I really thought she would. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, because she's talking. That's why. Duh. I'm trying to smile more because this show doesn't make me smile. I hope this makes you smile. So listen, BBC girl is trying to figure out, well, my God, why? And then Miranda fesses up and says, listen, this is the truth. Okay. She sits her down. You know, BBC girl's a little nervous because she doesn't know what the truth is. And she tells BBC girl that she's not just someone that just stopped drinking or never drank or anything to that effect, that she is indeed an alcoholic. Thank God she didn't use alcoholish, because I would have gone into the freaking television. I would have taken her freaking neck and I would have thrown her against the window. That's premeditated, right? Maybe I shouldn't say that on camera. Did that come out? Did you all hear that? BBC girl reacts in a way that she says, okay, well, this puts me in an uncomfortable position because now every time I drink, I'm going to think about this. And then Miranda tries to say it's not her fault. And then obviously, not obviously, it was a little weird because BBC girl got a little curt. I thought she was going to go off on her. She says, let me finish. I was like, whoa. Homegirl got a little toot. Y'all need to figure out what toot is. We're old enough. We know. I'm trying to be funny. So BBC girl says that she drinks to numb herself because she feels bad about herself. And I've been saying this for a while. There is something up with this storyline. Something is going to come out because she's trying to numb the pain by drinking, and that it's an emotional thing. And she brought her emotional baggage to the apartment. Miranda makes it seem like, well, I have room for your emotional baggage. And then she says, I might have brought an emotional trunk. And she says, well, I have a 2-bedroom, so I have enough room for all of your emotional baggage. And she goes, really? Do you? I'm like, girlfriend, you have no clue. Honey, if you think you got a trunk, this girl's got a train. Okay? So they're a perfect match for each other. I don't know what the secret is going to be, and I'm sure it's going to be as boring as this storyline. Unless she's committed a heinous crime, I have no interest at all. Just make them get together and call it a day and let her ride off into the sunset, and that's it. I don't know if anybody else feels this way. It's not sexy. It's just a boring storyline. And I wish they just finish it up and call it a day. Like, that's it. I don't care. Again, unless she's committed a heinous crime, which even still I'm not sure if I'll give a shit about. They just went nowhere with this whole thing. So I got nothing to give you. I got nothing. Nothing. I gave you all that I could. And that was it. They're going to share their emotional, she's going to bring in her emotional luggage, and they're going to open up the trunk, and maybe if we're lucky, we see some body parts in there. Yeah. Okay. Next up. Oh my God. This is a nightmare. Charlotte. Jesus Christ. Vignette. Ding dong. Number 2. Stay tuned. Charlotte. Ding dong number 2. If she had less than 15 seconds of fame, it would be too much. All we see is opening scene, and I'm going to give you my comment at the end. She is hanging over the bed, trying to clean it up, complaining to Harry that the kids were supposed to help them because both of them are now bedridden, because apparently her vertigo, her phantom vertigo, that from what I'm gathering in all the comments, never happened, not on screen, at least. Thank you for confirming this, that I'm not crazy. Harry is coming out of the bathroom, hanging on to his wall. Did you think I was going to say balls? No, I didn't. You see what I did? I didn't do it. So he's complaining to her that she shouldn't be doing that, and the kids abandoned her and them because they were supposed to help. And then he says, I have some great news. I was able to pee finally without using a catheter. Again, thank you for the visual. This is what we resulted to. And she gets excited and she's so happy. And then all of a sudden she falls down and he's like, oh my gosh. And she's like, I'm okay. And I'm so happy. Yay, you are peeing without a catheter. And he says, let me get to you. And the most interesting scene in this whole scene was the dog, Mr. Richard Burton. It's the only thing that was interesting. Because Fred and Ethel Mertz, because that's what I thought about. I was like, this is like a really bad version of I Love Lucy of Fred and Ethel. Because he's like, I've got 2 cantaloupes that I'm hanging on to, but I'm getting to you, honey. And she's on the floor. And they're like trying to do slapstick comedy. I don't understand. And that's it. How many minutes was this? I gave it actually 3 more minutes more than what the scene was. Because I interjected my humor. Okay, we'll go with that. That's it. Fred and Ethel are on the floor. He's got his 2 cantaloupe balls and she's got her vertical and the dog is licking Charlotte's face. Next. We're done. Part 1 of what I don't understand what's happening series. We're getting shorter series. I cannot explain why other than they're maybe spending money on cameos, locations. I don't know if these places like the Pelican is paying to be on the show or they're paying them to be on the show. I can't figure it out because it's the quality is not getting any better. Not that it was good, but at least it was a baseline. So you have here, you could only go and they're on the floor already. So what's the word of the day that I want you to translate? Cojones, 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 cojones. Okay. Tell me from what origin that you can translate it to your language. What does that mean to you? I would love to hear back. Listen, I am at 902 subscribers. I'm almost hitting that threshold of 1,000. I cannot thank you all enough. I can't. I literally can't, because I am now finishing up going through my comments and the love that you guys give me. I'm going to say it in this one, in this part 2 one. You have been my muse. You push me. You inspire me. The comments are hysterical. You guys are so kind to each other, and I thank you 1,000% for that. Please continue to build this community because I'm watching you. Pretty soon, hopefully by the end of this year, I can do this more full time and we can get into much greater depths to my channel. Right now, again, as I told you, I'm in the middle of packing. I'm moving in the next quarter, but I pack early because I'm an anal retentive person and I don't like to leave anything for the last minute. Yes. And it's a big change for me. So I'm very excited. I'm doing these videos once a week. I do have a full-time job and, I edit these myself. I don't edit what I speak, but I interject the clips. And this goes into the question too. Does anybody feel like the editing in this, it's never been great to begin with, but it's actually gotten worse. I feel like, listen, editors, do you need help? Do you want to give you a link to the editing software that I use? I don't have a affiliate link or anything like that, but let me help you, help me help you. Because the way you go in and out of scenes is just really annoying. Annoying. I'm here. Let's help each other out. I'll let you know. Call me. And if you call me, get ready for a boatload of crap that I'm going to put on your ass because, it's not just the editing. You've been warned. All right, my beautiful people. Next up, the Carrie Chronicles. Yep. Mm-hmm. 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 part 2. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.